The sharks are a bit of a problem. However, they were very keen on novelty. That was part of the attraction of a big imperial spectacle. I think all it really shows is that Ridley Scott would have made a great Roman emperor. Hi, I'm Harry Sidebottom, author of Those Who Are About to Die, and I'm here to break down gladiators in films and TV.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance, in this life or the next.
That is just a great scene. There's a bit of an issue with the names. Romans had 3 names. They, for example, Gaius Julius Caesar. The main name, the family name, is the middle one, and Russell Crowe's character appears to reverse the order of the last 2 names, which is quite weird. The other issue in history with this is gladiators, everyone knew their name. You didn't have a star gladiator without knowing their name. We know from Pompeii their programs are painted on walls before announcing who's fighting. It's a big draw. You need to know the man's name. Which is actually quite interesting because gladiators have stage names. They often go in their tombstones. I was the Gladiator X, but really my civilian name was Y. Thumbs up for life, thumbs down for death. Modern scholars are pretty convinced our modern understanding is the wrong way round, that actually thumbs up meant death, thumb down meant life. Actually, the modern scholars are probably wrong and the modern popular idea is probably right. The modern scholars back this up by going, thumbs up means death because it's the killing blow up into the throat. This is contradicted by a gladiatorial cemetery at Ephesus, where the skeletons have been examined by forensic pathologists, and almost always the killing blow is down into the neck from behind. So yeah, it's a great scene. I think thumbs up does mean life, thumbs down does mean death. And Ridley Scott absolutely got this right here, and the scholars probably got it wrong.
Today, we relive the Battle of Salamis! The Trojans versus the Persians!
It's a Naumachia, a sea battle. The Romans did stage gladiatorial combat in boats, sea battles. This one's set in the Colosseum, and here we walk straight into a scholarly controversy. Could they actually flood the Colosseum or not? It kind of divides into 2. Ancient historians go, well, they certainly did, because an eyewitness account says they did. Then more engineering-minded people go, don't be ridiculous, it's physically impossible. Certainly it's impossible as the Colosseum is now with the substructures, and the water couldn't have been not leaked into it and it would have collapsed the floor. But maybe originally the Colosseum was built on the earth, and so it could have happened. Usually Naumachia are fought in specially dug lakes somewhere else in Rome. Now, there are only 2 boats in here, which is odd because all the accounts we have feature lots of boats. Both these boats in the film are scaled down warships, and yeah, that's accurate, because to get the numbers onto a lake, you'd have had to scale down the size of a warship. Then there's the bit at the start when it's announced, it's the Battle of Salamis, the Trojans against the Persians. Well, actually, the Battle of Salamis was fought between the Greeks and the Persians. But that is spot on with historical accuracy, because the Romans loved recreating, especially Naumachia, naval battles between long, distant peoples they'd already conquered. It's a way of showing that these people may have been great warriors in the past, but now we, Rome, can summon up their fleets for the amusement of Rome. It's a really, really good scene. The sharks are a bit of a problem. Yeah, no, there are no sharks featuring in ancient sea battles or anything like it. However, they were very keen on novelty. That was part of the attraction of a big imperial spectacle. I think all it really shows is that Ridley Scott would have made a great Roman emperor.
Here's a slow kill on the yellow. Here, here, and here. Remember, a slow kill may have enough left in him to kill you before he dies.
That's a great scene, but it's completely wrong. The idea of gladiatorial combat, the gladiatorial duels, wasn't about killing. It's about exhibiting skill, endurance, courage. Really, the last thing gladiators wanted to do to each other was kill them. So they wouldn't be going for the red paint quick kill. They wouldn't be going for the disabled. They're going to wear the other guy down by their skill. And so it really works as cinema, but it doesn't really reflect any reality whatsoever.
Give me the remote control. Come on!
Weirdly enough, it does kind of reflect some bits of the ancient arena. There were a special type of gladiators who fought on the pontiari, the bridge men who fought on a raised structure in the middle of the arena, which obviously didn't rock about, didn't have spikes in, and didn't have a pit of very hot stuff to fall into. But that's kind of, chimes with history. As do the whips. There was a type of gladiator who fought with whips, but they weren't intended to kill each other. They're part of the lunchtime entertainment. They're almost a comedy act.
Obesius' fame grew as he rose through the gladiatorial ranks. Women wanted him, and men wanted to be killed by him. But still, he yearned for that which he longed for.
I heart you.
The young lovers were wed for all the gods to see.
When he's a gladiator, Homer, Obesius, gets married. They actually got married, or at least claimed they were married, because they're actually technically slaves, and slaves aren't allowed to marry. But we have lots and lots of tombstones, usually put up by the widow, going, "This is put up to the gods below, to my well-deserving and merciful late husband, the gladiator, whoever."
Why is the store closed? It's only noon.
Me and the fellas are all peed out. How am I supposed to make things clean without human waste?
Hey, boss, we came up with an idea that could increase ammonia production.
All you gotta do is put these jugs outside of taverns, and you'll get your urinous gratis.
Roman clothes were cleaned with urine. And yes, there were vats outside the inns that people could pee in, so it could be taken away and used. So yeah, there's quite a bit of sort of underlying history in this wonderful clip from The Simpsons. Hollywood comes back to gladiators again and again, and I think it's pretty obvious why. I mean, they're violent, they're sexy, everyone knows them. And I think gladiators also sum up the alienness of Rome for a modern audience. We can't imagine terribly easily going to watch a sport in which people may well die. And it's the spectacle that draws directors like Ridley Scott to them again and again. Hollywood very seldom actually gives a realistic portrait of a normal gladiatorial fight in which two men duel for perhaps 10 minutes, quarter an hour, one gets wounded or one just gets exhausted or outmatched, and he then surrenders, appeals to the crowd and the giver of the games, and 7 out of 8 times he will be spared. I'm Harry Sidebottom, and if you want to know more about gladiators, please read my book, Those Who Are About to Die, Gladiators and the Roman Mind.